Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I'm here today with a new installment in our mini book series for the month of August. This is a free project, so if you would like to get the printables, all you need to do is go down in the description, sign up, and I'll send you everything you need to get started. You'll get access to last week's project, which is called The Clockmaker's Dream. And this is mine from last week, and I wanted to mention to you guys that I have been playing around with it all week long. So I've added some extra stuff to it. A few people had asked for some close-up pictures, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'll just post those in the Facebook group, and I'll post them on YouTube and probably Instagram too. So you can see I added some mica flakes. I just went through and just added pieces like this here, this, I think I did this in the video, but I added this into the pocket. I just added, some extra stuff into the book. So if it looks a little different, that's why. It just was fun. Oh, I also have my, what do you call it? My slide thing is not in here right now because I've been working on that separately as well. So I'll just take photos of everything though, and I'll post it. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick heads up on that. So this was the Clockmaker's Dream from last week. And this week, we are doing the Cartographer's Quest. So this book is going to be an accordion. So you'll see like here, I'm just going to quickly flip through this so you can see the pieces to it and the papers that are included. And then I'll go ahead and just jump right into the assembly. We'll do the assembly and then I'll do what I did last week and do a second video on Wednesday that just kind of goes over some more decorating options. Basically, that helps keep the videos to I think a more manageable length. So, okay. So I'm just going to kind of flip through this kind of quickly just so you guys can see what's available in the kit. And then, there's a bunch of stuff to cut. I do admit this got completely out of hand because I had so much fun making it. So it's a decent sized project. So I will definitely try to make next week's a little more easygoing, but this was it's just way too much fun. So so these are the base pieces. There's only 2 base pieces. Okay, so really the fun or the extra work is going to be in the decorating, which is the fun part. So and then I have tons of ephemera. There's pockets, and this is a pocket here. There's belly bands here. There's a mini book in this as well. An envelope. A big pocket. There's some flaps as well. And I'll show you how to install this funky tab too. There's a bunch of hidden stuff in this one. So, lots of, it's kind of a jungly explorer theme, kind of like my Into the Wild kit. It's a little bit like that one. This is kind of inspired by if you, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Romancing the Stone. It is very old, maybe in the 80s. I don't know. We had a copy of it in our house for some reason, so we watched it a lot because, when you had, it was on VHS, so it was back in the 80s. So I don't know if it came out in the 80s or earlier or whatever. That inspired this greatly, as well as the Goonies a little bit, and just in general, my love of Victorian sort of adventure style novels. So anyway, okay, and there's also a sheet of artist trading cards for your use however you want to use them. They're not integral to the kit, but I always include them because I think it's nice to have some extra images and also some inspiration. So you might want to just take a look at them and decide if you want to use them or not. So now, oh, I forgot. I almost have to do the papers as well. Okay. So this paper here is the paper that I used on the back of every single thing in the folio. So if you see this paper in my video, you're going to know that is the back of something that I just showed you. So it's what I double-sided everything with. Do you have to double-side everything? Probably not. The things I would double-side are the main pieces, for sure. And let's see. There's one other, the one other piece you need to double side is this one here and this one here. So anything with the main pieces on it, you need to double side, okay? Or put something on the back of that you like. You could glue like a layer of that paper that comes in Amazon packages, or you know, something like that on the back, or tissue paper or whatever, just so that you don't have a plain white back. So, like I said, this is on the back of everything in my folio. I think I have it under here so you can see right here. These are my main pieces right here. So that's what I have on the back. And then there is also this jungly print, which I am absolutely enamored with. I don't know why. It's not my usual MO, but I just really love these like kind of dark jungly prints that came out of this. There's a floral and there's like kind of a leafy one. And then there's also a dark brown option for the cover. So these are kind of the two options for the cover. These are probably what I would recommend, one of these two for the cover, double siding. Unless you feel adventurous, then I would go for these. You know, it just depends. There's going to be like a lot of pockets and stuff on there, so I just wanted to go simple, especially in the video, because I wanted you guys to be able to tell what I was doing. Okay, so we're going to start with our main pieces here. Okay, this is 1, this is 2. So basically, you're just going to cut it out. You're going to score it on all the lines, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach this together right here by this pocket, okay? So this is going to be, the pocket goes to the back, all right? So all you have to do for this one here is put glue here, here, and here, and then we're going to leave this side open, okay? And that's your entire folio assembly, which for me, I love. So it's super easy to put the base pieces together. And then what we're just going to do is go through this panel by panel and add in all of the pockets that are included in the kit. And then we will also, like, we'll be doing the ephemera on Wednesday. So, all right, so this goes here. I'm just going to slide this guy into place here. So it's right up on the edge of my folio, because I don't want it to, I want it to be like even, if that makes sense. I don't feel like it's even. I'll just be honest with you there. Like sometimes it's not quite lined up perfectly. I just want it to be a little bit more away from the, what do you call this? This bend or the spine or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so when you have this glued together, this is what it's going to look like, okay? So if you hadn't noticed, which you probably had, this contains a hidden map in it, okay? And then to get to the hidden map, you're just going to fold it like this. Okay, and that gives you part of the map. There are still other parts of the map, which we'll get to. We're going to get to very shortly as we start to install everything into this. I want to make sure everything folds okay. Yep. Okay. So this is going to be the first part of our hidden map. Okay. And now we are going to install some other things into this to kind of hide our map away a little bit. And then also to add in the pieces that we need to for the rest of the map to appear when we open up all of our flaps and stuff. So, all right, so let's get started with that. I have a big old pile here. I went ahead and labeled everything because, you know, I'm doing a video, and so it would not be good if I had to hunt for stuff. Everything is pretty much, I attempted to organize everything together on one page. There are a few things that are kind of on a different page, just, you know, for efficiency's sake. You know, I don't want to give you a page with like one thing on it. So, okay, so basically what we're going to do here with this is there's a couple of pieces for this right here is on the front here. So the first thing that we're going to do is assemble this pocket here. It's going to go on here just like this. Okay, now you have some decisions to make here in terms of like what you would like. If you want, you could cut this away so you can't see this, so it's just basically the pocket here. But since there's going to be ephemera in it, I'm just going to leave mine like this for right now. I don't think I'm going to do anything to it. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I might rough it up, you know, with a, you know, paper distressor, but that's probably about it, because I am planning on putting ephemera into my flap here. Okay. Because this is what it's going to look like when it's on the front. Because even though this folds together like this, when it's like together like the book, it's not going to fold together like that. So that's kind of the, like, you know, hiddenness of the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And we'll put this right on the flap here. And then this flap, if you want, there is the option to create a little closure here. So we're going to work on this. Okay, in my construction, this is panel, this would be panel 1 here, and this is 10 here. I know that's a little bit confusing, but because of the way it's laid out like this, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here, because this is technically on the back. So that's how my construction brain works. Okay, so there's also, for right here, I'm going to move into panel 2 and kind of do these kind of at the same time, because they need to, this kind of all needs to be done at once. Okay, so this piece right here, that's this weird shaped tab. This tab is going to go here, okay? And the way that this is going to work is that this is going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a brad to attach this so that this can rotate up and down, okay? Just like this. So it's not going to fold down or anything like that. It's going to rotate on this flap, and then this will be tucked behind it so that when it comes up, it just opens up, and then there's the rest of the folio. Because in this book, our cartographer is searching for the River of Mists, which is the one that's up here on this panel here. So basically, we're going to do this guy here, and then we have this pocket to put over the top of the brad, okay? And then we have this little band here to put on top of this pocket so that we can put the piece of your choice here to hold it shut, okay? All right, so that's where we're going. I'm going to show you how we're going to get there. Okay, so to put this on here, basically, you just want to line this guy up here, and then I have some brads here. What I have are these ones here, these super flat guys. And if you wish to not use the brad and do my little rotating situation, you could possibly just put this on with a tab, but you would have to make some adjustments on the back of it, and I'll show you when we get there how to do that. Okay, so basically what we're going to do here is we are going to put our, oh, I need a pokey tool. You're going to need a pokey tool or an awl to do this one. So basically what I want to do is take a quick look here at my back, and I want my, like, I can trim this too. I gave you extra space because I know everybody's everything is always different. So don't feel like you can't trim something if it's not exactly where you think it should be. This, in my prototype, I did angle this away from the corner here, but my worry was that if you wanted to, you know, based on where you want to place your brad, you might want the extra space right there. So all right, so there's my brad. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go about, like, I'd say about a finger width in from the edge Okay, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just, okay, so 5 dots in from here. Okay, I'm just using that as like a general, like, guide for you guys. So it doesn't have to be right there, but I'm just saying like that is a good spot. Okay, if you want to go like 5 dots in from here, 5 or 6 would be fine, you know, just so you have a general guide. You know, you can pretty much poke it wherever you want, but that's my like kind of unscientific recommendation. Okay. You just want to make sure it's going to go under the pocket. Okay, so now I have my hole poked. And here, the reason I picked these square small brads is because they're flat. I'm very flat on the top. So the flatter it comes on the top, the better. Okay, so that just like, just like that. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to, now that we have our little situation on the back, and I need to make sure mine doesn't overflow, because you can cut it if you want or not. Mine didn't, so it's no big deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So this is going to go over the top of the brad right here. Okay. I was trying to do it so that it didn't interfere with the tabs, but it might still. Okay, so I can also slide it underneath it if I have to, because I don't want to glue this because it has to keep moving. Okay, so, oh yeah, and also, if you don't get this exactly right the first time, it's no biggie, because it's underneath this, so you'll never see it if you have to poke 2 holes. So I'm just going to carefully place this down. I'm just looking for the placement of my brad so that if I have to, I can adjust my envelope. I might just make it, although I think I put my envelope up too high. Yeah, that lines up pretty well. Just make sure everything's lined up. And that everything still turns. And you can tuck this in here. Okay, we're going to cover this up on the back. The back is just a nightmare to look at because it's all the same pattern, but I'll ink those edges really quick in a second. Okay, now we have this piece right here that goes on top of this. So we just kind of have to line this guy up. Seems about right. Okay, so this is going to be your optional tab if you want to put like a little bit of a closure on the front so your front doesn't fly up. Oh no, I already lost my piece. I can use this if I have to. There's like a decorative piece. How did I lose that? Oh, I didn't lose it. I didn't lose it. There we go. So this would go in, oh no, my pocket. I think I need to clip that. Okay, so this would be glued on the inside of this so that it could go right into this here. So it would hold it shut if you want it to. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on right now, and then so basically just a little line of glue at the top and a little line of glue at the bottom. It's not going to hurt to have it, even if you don't decide in the end you don't want to have it on there or have a closure right there. It really depends. It's not going to hold the whole folio closed, just but it, you know, it'll hold this front flap down. And you don't even need to glue this piece down to have it work. Does that make sense? So you could use any piece of ephemera in the kit. It'll just work because it's got the pocket there. So any piece will work. You could use this piece as well. Or you could use one of the other pieces. That's like more, like there's a bunch of books and stuff in this kit. So like we could use a piece of stationery or something like that as well. Or a picture or a fussy cut or whatever. So this, again, you won't see this because the ephemera is going to be in this pocket like this. So it's going to block basically a lot of the stuff that you see here. The whole like kind of idea behind this was to kind of hide the map like as much as I logically could, you know, with the stuff, so that, you know, only the cartographer would know, you know, where the map is secreted, you know. Okay, so all right, let's go on to 3. And 3 is pretty easy because it's just this pocket here. I'm gonna take that out here. And that's just going to go right on this guy. And then just watch make sure your seams are lining up. You know, they can be tad off sometimes because of folding or printing. Just make sure everything's lining up so that your folio will fold without too much trouble anyway. Okay, so here we go with the glue. And I'm going to line that up against this here. And that's really all we have to do for number 3. For 4, we have a little book, okay? And that's going to go under this belly band. So, oops, I think that's upside down. Wait, no. This is the right way. Okay, so for this one, it's just gluing top and bottom. So even though there's a bunch of stuff for this, it shouldn't be too hard to do. Come on, little glue. All right, so we got that on the top and the bottom. I'm probably going to clip that just because my other one needed clipping. Of course, I always stick stuff in the pockets. I should refrain from doing that, but okay, I got all my little post-it notes around here. Okay, so 4 is a book, and I was just thinking of doing a pamphlet stitch on this because it's so little. You could also run it down your sewing machine if you wanted. It's, you know, pretty much up to you what you would like to do with the book. So you can decide. One of the things I did think would be good is to round the corners on this. I wasn't sure, but I think it will look better if the corners are rounded, or more like a little kind of like a moleskin notebook, even though I don't know if they had those during our time period here. Okay, yeah, so see that just a little bit of rounding I think helps it look more like a notebook for some reason. So this is totally optional, as of course. I'm generally not a corner rounding fan, but there's time and a place for it, I think, is the situation. Okay. All right, and so you have 2 pages to put in here, so you can put those in whichever order you like. And then what I'll do here is I'll just poke some holes, and we'll just sew this guy up really quick. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is poke a hole in the middle. And then I'm just going to go here. And let's see here. Because this book is so small, I can't really go an inch down or anything. I have to just kind of eyeball it. Okay, I'm going to grab my thread and my needle, and we'll sew this up. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to start in the middle and we're going to go in through the middle. I'm just going to, I cut my thread a little bit on the long side. And then we're going to go up through the top, all the way down to the bottom. Oops, I got that caught. Okay, and then I'm going to go in through the middle again. Okay, and when I come up, this time I'm going to come up on the opposite side of the thread. There we go. There we go. Now tug on these firmly, and then we can tie them off. I'm just going to double check my back there, because I know that I loosened that by accident. You want to pull firmly, but not too hard, because if you pull too hard, you could pull your holes. And I already poked mine a little bit on the big side for this by accident, but I think it should be fine. I did purposefully pick a thin needle so that I wouldn't make them any bigger. Okay. All right, so now I have my little book here, and that's going to go under this belly band here. And we're going to decorate all of this stuff on Wednesday, so don't be too stressed out about that. Okay, now for this one. This one is going to be, this is number 5, okay? And, okay, for this one, you have these 2 flaps, okay? Now you'll notice this flap is a map flap, okay? So this goes up here like this, and your tabs are going to attach to the back, okay? And then, oops, that's the envelope. And then this one's going to go to the bottom. There's no map on the bottom of this one, just on the top here, okay? So there will be a little chunk of your map missing when you fold everything together, but, you know, I figured that goes to character. Okay, so we're just going to put some glue on these little tabbies right here. Gonna put that down for a second. Okay, I'm just gonna line this guy right up here. It should fit pretty well. Just make sure you can bend it and then press it down, because you want to be able to bend it without like creating any sort of like curling right there on the edge there. Okay, and let's do the bottom one. Slide this one here, and then I'm just going to double check on this one and make sure that these guys kind of just basically meet evenly, because this one has less to tell you like exactly where to put it. Okay, these even line up better than they did on my prototype. All right, so that looks good. Okay, so basically what we're going to probably end up doing here is securing this with by poking 2 holes in here and tying some twine. Okay, I'm going to use eyelets. You do not have to use eyelets. You could just poke holes. If you want to poke a hole and just have it, you could also use like hole reinforcers on it, like these. You know, they're just these like little round stickers, or you could punch a hole, literally punch a hole, or punch a circle, sorry, and put it around the hole yourself. You don't like need like a commercial one of these, or you know, there's hole punches too if you have one of those. Okay, so basically what I want to do here is punch a hole in each one of these so that I can set the eyelet, and I just need to put a like little dot or something on here, because I want them to be generally in the same spot. So if I put the 2 in the middle, and then maybe just go 1/2 inch. I think that's about the middle. What I should have probably done is ink this edge so that I could tell. Where the edge is. Okay, that gives me a good idea of where my middle is here. And now I am going to attempt to get this ruler to be decently straight. I don't usually fiddle around with this level of stuff. Okay, so usually like step 2. Let's go 1/2 of an inch on either side. Here we go. Should do it. All right, so I'm going to punch a hole in there for the brad. Okay. I almost got these. I almost got the hole on that one. So let's see if I can almost get it on this one too. All right, let's go ahead and okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my brad in here. This is a little bit awkward. That guy's in there. Not even the worst on the back there. Sometimes these like self-backing ones, they really mess it up. I was thinking, should I get out one that has a back? But I was like, I'll just go with it. Okay, there we go. And I think I'm going to use twine for these. I am not 100% sure. I'm going to temporarily use this just to hold it closed, because this is going to be the actual back of my folio. I'm going to do this whole thing on Wednesday. Like, we'll put the twine in and make it look nice, because I think we probably need to decorate the outside of this as well. I could use this though if I wanted to. And then there is an envelope that you can put behind this flap if you like. Or you could put your little journal behind this flap. It's, you know, the possibilities are endless here. Okay, so we're just going to glue this here. I just want to make sure that I didn't get any. I did not. Okay, so this one can go under here for right now. Okay, and okay, so I think I can probably take my clips off for these guys. At least hopefully I can. Okay, because what we're going to do now is we're going to flip over and go to the other side. Okay, all right. All right, so I went ahead and inked these guys on the edges so that we could see the panels better that were, you know, so we can see which individual panel is here. Okay, so we're going to go with 6 here. Okay, now 6 is this one here, which covers this here, okay? Now, if you do not love what I picked, you could always print something different on the back and just put that over here. Or you could just cut a piece of the background paper. It's just, these are all 4x5 pieces of panels, are all 4x5 for each panel. So you could just do however you like it. Okay, I do, oh wait, do I have my glue stick? I do think I have it. Yeah, I do. Okay. I thought I didn't have one on my desk. I'm just going to glue stick this one because I like the even coverage that I get with the glue stick here. And this Scotch one is pretty sticky, I have to say. I switch between that one and the Uhu one. Okay, so I'm just going to try to get this on here as evenly as I can because I want to cover up these flaps that I have. It's decently centered. I hope it is. There we go. Oh, I messed up. Okay. Thank God I used a glue stick. This has a flap on it here. And this flap needs to go in between these two, okay? So just, I'm very sorry about that. I always forget these things, but this has to go in between. So basically I'm just going to line this up and just kind of slide it in there because I use the glue stick. It's much more forgiving than, say, like this kind of glue, the PVA glue. This Nouveau glue grabs it really fast and you can be in a real pickle. Okay, so 2 pockets here. 1 pocket for the base and 1 pocket for the flap here. Okay, so just glue these guys on. And our cartographer is going to hide some stuff behind here. That's why this flap is like this. We're just going to go on 3 sides of this one. And then just kind of center that on there. All right, now we have 2 places to hide things under there. Make sure all that sticks down. Okay. All right, so now we are on to number 7. And, okay, so for this one, we have a pocket for the bottom here that goes here just like this. And then I am going to glue on all 3 sides of this one. And then this goes here. Then we're going to take this piece here. And this is going to go across here. I'm going to have to just trim mine just ever so slightly because it's just a smidge too long. Once you start like gluing all this stuff on here, you know, it gets a little funky. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is put this on here. The reason I did this is because this is to slide these bottles behind here, but I put the pocket there too because I thought we could slide some other stuff in here and then this would also protect these from falling through just in case the belly band isn't tight enough. I'm going to glue it, you know, flat, but you know, sometimes things fall out. So I wanted to make sure that it was double secure. Move those temporarily. That's gonna glue. Okay, so we're moving right along here. Okay, so this panel is the bookcase, okay? For this one, you're going to need this like big long brown piece. There's also a short brown piece in there. Oh, here it is. It's like, where is it? A short brown piece in there too. This is just like a backup piece, okay? This should fit correctly on here. If there's like little lines here, you need to score or fold on all of these lines, okay? Because you're going to pull them up like this, okay? And then this is just going to go right on here. But, like, in case you have a problem with, like, your bottom one, I included a little extra little piece here in case you want to put, like a double high shelf or what, you know. I just thought when I was doing it, I was like, you know, I just wanted to add a little insurance policy in there in case, you know, you need to have extra, you want to have extra sturdiness on the bottom there. Okay, and I'm also going to, I did not print on the back of this one, so I'm just going to ink on here so this white doesn't show, like, it's not completely obvious. Now that that's inked over it, you know, you can't really even tell that it's white back there. Go. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is glue one of these at a time, okay? So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on either side of this fold, okay? And then fold this up. Okay, so it kind of like shrinks up onto itself. And that's going to make our little bookcase for us to put our books in. And I made a lot because sometimes I don't know what gets into me. I just listen to like podcasts or books while I'm doing this, and you know, I just like kind of get lost in the whole idea of the whole situation. Like tonight I was supposed to be just finishing things up, and I was like 2 hours went by somehow. Alright, so I'm going to clip these. It's the, I think, best way to go. And then here. And then we'll also be gluing on the back, so it should be sturdy and stick together. I'm going to go ahead and glue in there as well. I could have probably glue sticked, I guess. That's straight across, because that's going to be my bottom shelf. Okay, and like I said, if you want your bottom shelf to be a little bit higher, you can use one of those extra pieces. And you can just like, the reason why it's like this is because you could, I don't have this scored, but you can just fold it like this and slide it underneath here, so that it would just be like a little bit taller on that first one. So that's just, as an insurance policy, it is not necessary. Okay, so we've got this here. So let's see. Hopefully I can take these off now. Even though I just put them on the bottom one. Let's see if we can put that like this temporarily. Just okay, so then what we're going to do is glue this into the center of this panel here. Okay, so I'm going to take these off. I gave it a few minutes. I'm very patient though, so I couldn't wait that long. I'm going to go ahead and just help these along back here. I can't see what I'm doing here. It's making my... Okay. And I'll just help hold it flat while I am gluing. I'm just going to go ahead and press these down with the bone folder there. And I'm going to just glue the whole thing over. And I'm going to use this again because I'm gluing a, you know, like a big space here. And it gives me better coverage. You could use double-sided tape for this too. That would work really well because it would help, you know, these like creases stay. Okay, so this is like this. Where did I put my ephemera here? Which will let you put your like little books and stuff in there. There's a couple of them. So these can just go in here. And then the cartographer can have all the books. So there's a bunch of them. So this is going to look really adorable when it's done. So there's that. Okay, so now we come to this one here. Okay, so in order for this piece to be able to swing the way that it needs to, we're going to put this panel on the back of it with it open on one side. Okay, so it will go here and here, but it'll be open so that we can swing it up and out of there. Okay. That's their like deepest secret in this whole situation here, because whoever's looking for this is going to have to figure out that the last part of the map is hidden behind this flap here. I did think about the, what do you call it? The last one we did, the clockmaker, has like a wheel, and I was like a calendar wheel on it. I was like, how can I incorporate something like that into this? But, you know, the constraints of time. Okay, so there is like a line of space here for the glue. Okay, for this, because this is going to have to be glued down here and here. Okay, and then we're going to put a pocket on it right here to try to help disguise the fact that it totally will flip up if you pull on it. Okay? Okay, so when you glue this on here, you need to make sure that your glue is like a little ways down so it doesn't impede the moving of your little hinge there. Alright, so I'm going to try this out to see if it will work. Okay, so you just need to like leave like about 3/4 of an inch not glued up there. I know it's not perfect, but I think we can disguise it with our decorating so that you can't tell that this is going to come up. I think I need a little bit more glue in here. Okay, and then I'm going to not mess with it until it's dry. Alright, I'm just going to clip on the bottom because I can't really clip on the side. Okay. Alright, so we have that piece hidden in there. So what we're going to do is put this pocket over the top here. I need to just trim this here. Let's overlap. And I'll put a little ink on the edge of it. I haven't been very good about inking today. Okay. Alright, so this is going to go right on this corner, and hopefully to help hold that down. And then we can always add a clip or something to this if we want. My glue doesn't want to come out. I don't think it was like, okay. There we go. I don't think it was in the thing correctly for some reason. There we go. Like the glue wasn't pushed all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to put this on this corner here. And then hopefully, you know, that will help disguise our secret, like I said. Some more of our books. This is probably my favorite part. Okay, so that's there. That's here. Okay. Oops. Okay, so this is, oh, you know what? I'll make a belly band maybe to help hold this. No, I can't do that because I don't want to cover up my map. So I have to figure out another way to hold my envelope in there, because I don't know that this is going to cut it. And I also want to put twine on like these separately so you don't have to pull everything out to get in here. So like it would be like 2 pieces of twine. Now I'm getting into the weeds, but I just want to have the basics of this assembly done so that we can make sure that everything's in the right place, and then we can like get started with the decorating on Wednesday. I'm going to put a little bit of ephemera in this too, just so you can see like how it goes. This string is much shorter than the other one. Oops. There we go. All right, so I can tie this together a little bit better now that it's not in, it's not like just one string. So that might actually help hold my envelope as well. Okay, so this is our basic assembly here. So it's going to fold up like this and then like this. So this will actually be our back. Mine's a little bit crooked, so I might have to go through and with my bone folder and like make sure all my folds are folding on the right spot. You know what I mean? This has to fold like a bunch of different ways because of the hidden map. So this has to come up here, and this opens, and then the top thing has to pop up from here, and then that kind of opens here, and then, you know, here's the whole map. So it's kind of like hiding in plain sight. All right, there goes that, there goes this. And you guys, I just realized I think I forgot to make a title for this one like I did for the clockmaker. So I will make that and add that in before I put the pack out. I just need to figure out, mine is not exactly lined up. So I'm going to go through with my bone folder after this so that I can straighten it out. Because sometimes that happens with these accordion books. They don't exactly line up. It's not the biggest deal in the world because once you decorate and stuff, you're not even going to notice. Like you can see like my back kind of slightly overlaps my front here, so I can just fix that with a little trim. And also like just by adding a little bit of something to the edge there. And then I'll just kind of like visually even it all out. So if that's the kind of thing that like drives you crazy, that can be remedied pretty easily. But okay, so you can start thinking about ephemera too. You know, I was thinking the documents might go with the journal, you know, and I was thinking this would be an ideal spot for one of these big fussy cut flowers here. And I don't know if the key to this could be stuffing more stuff into it. We'll see what happens with that. We do have plenty of stuff to stuff into it. You know, I think it, you know, all the cartographers like research and things like that could go in here. I did a couple of photographs, not many, just a couple. This one here is like, I thought it would be good to have like a photograph of water from the River of Mists that the cartographer is searching for. These actually are pretty tight, so I think those are going to stay pretty fine. And then, oh, there's also some like the vials of mica flakes and gold flakes that I thought we could put in this pocket back here. Keep this stuff there. And then there's gold too. Where is the gold? There's gold, like a pile of gold, as well as gold pieces that could go in here too. This compass in there. So yeah, so there's tons of stuff to take a look at and kind of think about where you want to have it and what you want to do with it and that sort of thing. And then I thought, I bought like a while ago, I had gotten like this bag of mica flakes. So I'm like super excited to try to employ them in this project. So I will probably be using those on Wednesday in that video, just to kind of like jazz things up a little bit, or at least put some in here with the actual mica flakes, right? Because I don't have a lot of like excess room to put stuff in here, but I do have lots of fun stuff to include. So there's tons of books. Okay, let's see what else. Yeah, so you can kind of take a look at this and decide, you know. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, there's little clue fragments included in this as well. So I would sprinkle these throughout the whole entire folio or entire book, you know, in just different places, so that there's different clues hidden, you know, throughout the book. That, like, this would be a really good place to put one in here, like with a little paper clip. And yeah, and oh, one obviously in this envelope here would be another good one. And you could, there's other little bits and pieces that could go in there too with the clue. So it's just like a little fun little, like, you know, adventure thing for you guys to put together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I hope I didn't talk for too long. Let's see here. Where do we want to put this? Okay, so put that in there, maybe with some books. And then, yeah, like I said, on Wednesday, we'll do some decorating, you know, and put, like, you know, kind of make it more exciting, basically. Because this is just our basic construction right now. And so if you guys want to go ahead and get that done, things are falling out like crazy. Sorry. It's just because I don't have anything, like, I need to secure some things in pockets as well. So, all right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you are looking forward to putting together your own little secret map project here. I have an absolutely abominable knot right here. I'm going to grab some twine to do that with. But yeah, so here's our secret map folio. I gotta get my thing here. I guess I need a tab or something for that. And oh, we have to open this up too. So we got the whole map like that. So I hope this was fun. I made a big mess. And I will see you guys on Wednesday, and I will add the title in for this, and then we will put it probably right here on this edge, because this one's not going to really have a spine. So we'll put it right there on the edge on Wednesday. So until then, I hope you guys have fun putting this together. I think I said that like 3 times, so I really, really hope so. If you would like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, I would appreciate it, and I will see you soon.